Recently, the government of Kuwait broadcast a sudden and unprecedented emergency alert to all of its 5 million citizens. The instructions were specific: stay inside, close your doors, and seal your windows tight. They were preparing for the arrival of a radioactive cloud. Kuwait's National Guard issued this warning as active missile strikes began hitting a nuclear facility just across the water. Kuwait is bracing for the fallout of an engineered nuclear disaster, a crisis that is rapidly escaping their control. The geography of the Persian Gulf creates a dangerous proximity. The distance separating Kuwait from the Iranian coastline is incredibly short. Sitting directly on that coastline is the Bushehr nuclear power plant, the specific source of the potential fallout. The Bushehr plant serves as Iran's primary civilian nuclear hub, officially dedicated to power generation and technological research. But international monitors at the IAEA have confirmed that the facility is being hit by consecutive projectiles, strikes that regional reports attribute to U.S. and Israeli forces. These strikes risk a deliberate breach, effectively weaponizing a civilian power plant against the entire region. While the plant sits in Iran, it is not actually operated by Iranians. It relies entirely on hundreds of highly trained Russian experts. The site is managed by the Russian state agency, Rosatom, which maintains total operational control over the facility. Following the initial missile strikes, the Russian government initiated an emergency evacuation, pulling 700 to 1,000 of their personnel from the site. A nuclear reactor cannot be left unattended. Its cooling systems require constant human oversight to prevent the core from overheating. By forcing these experts to flee, the attackers have created a ghost plant. If a major strike occurs now, there is no one left to stop a full-scale meltdown. Why would the U.S. and Israel risk a regional catastrophe by targeting a live nuclear reactor? The motive lies in a covert intelligence sharing pipeline known as Operation Hidden Hand. Through this operation, Russia and China are secretly providing Iran with highly classified satellite imagery and targeting data. This intelligence allows Iran to conduct accurate strikes against U.S. military bases in the Middle East and targets inside Israel. These strikes on Bushehr serve as a direct cost imposed on Moscow, a warning that their involvement in the region puts their multi-billion-dollar nuclear infrastructure at risk. If the nuclear reactor breaches, the toxic path of the radiation cloud would drift directly over Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. This would trigger a massive military and civilian mobilization to manage millions of people trapped in a newly contaminated zone. This fallout would also engulf the Strait of Hormuz, the critical choke point for the world's oil supply. Contaminating the strait doesn't just poison the region, it paralyzes trade and shocks the world economy. Today, global superpowers have moved beyond traditional proxy combat, engaging in a direct confrontation centered on a live nuclear reactor. The sophisticated strategic maneuvers of world powers ignore the physical reality on the ground: a fragile nuclear facility, currently under siege and structurally compromised. The fail-safes are gone. Russian experts have fled, leaving the plant defenseless against a core breach. The strikes continue, and the integrity of the reactor dome weakens with every projectile that lands. Kuwait's SOS reflects a grim geographic reality. With the experts gone and strikes continuing, a core breach now feels entirely inevitable.